goal today is that we're going to be able to use a checklist to identify and make sure that you have a very strong lead. And then you're also going to be using that checklist to help you write your supporting paragraphs. I want you to go ahead, like I said, circle lead, elaboration, craft. And I want you to write on there, I know you don't have much room, that these spots right here, the elaboration and craft, that has to do with your supporting paragraphs. So make a note there that this is for your supporting paragraphs. I'm going to show you an example of a lead that a student wrote, and I want us to grade the lead and see how you think they fit. There are 3 columns: that they're not yet there, they're starting to, and yes, that they have it. Put your finger on the lead. Put your finger on the lead so I know you're following along. Okay, read this to yourself. You will notice that there are 2 sections. What do you notice? Tell somebody next to you, what do you notice that a lead, which is the intro paragraph, what does a lead have to have? Go ahead and discuss that with somebody around you. What does a lead have to have? What does it say? What's it say on there? The lead. Look at the lead. It has to have a what? Yeah. To interest the readers, right? Okay. And then what else does it need to have? Go ahead and check through there. Okay, so I heard a lot of things. One big thing I kept hearing over and over from you all was that you have to interest the readers. You're really trying to pull them in and getting them into your story. You also have to have a claim, or that we're calling it your thesis statement, that shows the readers how it's going to unfold. What's going to happen first, and next, and next. How are things going to unfold without totally giving it away? So let's take a look at one of the examples here that I have. All right? We're going to look at this example. Oh, you know what? Let me switch this out. This example right here, it's the second one, the red guards, okay? And I want to read this to you, and I want you to tell me, would this be a not yet person, or a no not yet? What's the other one? Starting to, thank you. And yes, they've got it. Okay, it says, The Red Guards was written by author Zhiling Zhang. It takes place during the early 1960s in China. During that time, China was dangerous for people because the government didn't want people to have any choices. The Red Guards is based on the true story of a 12-year-old named Zhiling Zhang, which is the main character. This is a short story from her early childhood, which she wrote a book about. The Red Guards are a group of teenagers that went around raiding homes and businesses, taking all the people's valuables. They would burn or crush and destroy everything of value. Okay, number 1, does it really, really pull you in? Would you say they're not there? Give me thumbs up, like yes, no.
That's professional.
Okay, they wrote pretty professional, but I say they're like right here, pulling me in. Did they have a thesis statement?
No.
Did they state, how it would unfold?
No.
That Gigi learns this by this, this, and this. Okay, so we would definitely chart they're not there on telling the readers how they unfold, and that they're kind of there on the pulling me in. Let me show you one more. Okay. Think. Does this pull you in? Does it make you want to read more? In the memoir, The Red Guards by Zhiling Zhang, you will experience a heartbreaking scene in a young Zhiling's life when the Red Guards attacked. The Red Guards are what you would call rebellions, which are people that are taking the government's power and using them for the wrong reasons. And now they are coming for the innocent girl, the one that knows exactly what's going on, but also the one who prayed that they would never interfere with her. Zhiling learns that through this event that many possessions symbolize her sadness. Zhili loses family photos, her house is destroyed, and above all, she loses her stamp collection. Now, does it pull you in a little? Like, did you hear her word choices? A little better? Okay. Now, does she tell you how the story unfolds? That's called your thesis statement. It tells you what's going to happen. There is a problem, though, with how she tells us how the story unfolds. Can you guys figure that out?
But it doesn't happen.
Go ahead and talk to your group. What is wrong with this?
She never prayed.
There's a hint right here.
There's
a hint right here.
Giving away too much.
Okay, you guys saw it. Okay. She's giving, it's kind of like she might have just put spoil alert. I'm going to tell you how the whole story goes and what happens at the beginning of my paper. This is a big spoil alert. She tells me that she loses her photo. She tells me her house is destroyed, and she tells me she loses her stamp collection. What I want you to do, please, I know that's why I said there's a clue. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I want to show you, and also notice her thesis statement are two separate. Like she has her claim here, and she has her reasons. You can use two sentences. There's no rule that says that you have to have it in one sentence, okay? So know that you have that freedom. If it doesn't all fit and it seems too long, you can separate that out. That's fine. Okay, let me show you a better way to not be such, don't spoil the paper for people, okay? So, instead of saying, let me reread, it says, Geely learns that through this event that many possessions symbolize her sadness. Geely loses her family history. She loses her security. And above all, she loses her most precious treasures. So now, I said the same things, but I talked about what the things or the possessions symbolize. So for example, instead of saying that she loses her family photos, let's say it out loud. What do I say?
She loses her family history.
Okay, I'm not giving away what happens, but I'm being more broad. I'm not being so specific in saying she loses her photos. I'm telling you she just loses her family history. That makes the readers think like, well, what does she mean by she's losing her family history? Instead of saying her house is destroyed, I say, go ahead and say it out loud.
Her security.
Okay, I don't give it away, but it makes my readers think, what does she mean by she loses her security? Okay, that's going to pull my readers in even more. Above all, she...
Her most precious treasure.
Okay, her most precious treasures. I don't say it's her stamp collection or her butterflies or things like that. I kind of let my readers guess what that is. It's not until my supporting paragraphs that I'll actually give that evidence and say these are the things that happened to her. The intro is very important that you pull your readers in. So today in workshop, you are going to make sure that number one, your intro is a yes. Okay, you have all that checklist. The other thing you're going to start writing, and I hope today you will at least have one supporting paragraph done, you are going to then use these two, elaboration and craft are going to help you to develop those supporting paragraphs. You need to think that, did you use a wide variety of evidence such as facts, quotes, examples from the text? Did you explain that why this quote proves your point? So for instance, remember when I told you those thought prompts? I said, I restated, I had my intro sentence, and then I said, for example, gave some background information. Geely states, this is significant because all of that, you can use those thought prompts that are on the anchor charts over here. You can use them, but you also have the freedom to write whatever intros or transitions you want. You don't have to be so robotic and use the same ones that you used in the Raymond's Run essay. Please just know that these are the things you need to have, that you chose your words carefully to support your argument, to have an effect on the reader. So don't make it robotic. Be free in your writing, be creative, but do know that you do have to explain why the quotes are in there. But be creative with your transitions, all right? So number one, you're checking your intro, that you have that done up here. And then number two, you're going to be working on your supporting paragraphs. If you still are not sure where you need to go or what you need to do, you can stay at the carpet with me. Otherwise, you can go ahead and get started on your writing.